The Xinjiang police files is a set of thousands of files, documents, speeches, policy directives, spreadsheets, images, all kinds of files directly from police computers in 2 ethnic minority counties in Xinjiang. These files, because they're directly obtained from hacking into police computers and databases in Xinjiang, they for the first time give us a first-hand account of police operations inside re-education camps, of images taken during police drills, security drills in these camps, of speeches given by Chen Quanguo and other officials, where they just very directly talk about the attitudes and the threat that they see from the Uyghurs and how Uyghurs need to be arrested and how the camps need to be defended. The threat perception, the sort of paranoid threat perception comes out in these files, and the internal justification for why one has to move against an entire population, against so many people. It's very evident from the files, especially from a speech by the China's Minister of Public Security held in June of 2018, that Xi Jinping himself and the central government is watching it very closely, is very aware of the details of the mass internment and of the fact that the camps and the prisons are crowded. It says that. And that they need more money, they need more prisons, they need more staff, more detention centers. Beijing is going to give more money for the operating costs of the re-education camps. It says that in the document. And that shows how closely and intimately the central government has been involved in this atrocity from the beginning. So what we're seeing in the region is sort of Beijing's master plan to control, to break the back of entire ethnic groups by interning people, masses of people, key people, the old generation. We see how many elderly people are in the camps. We see that from the data. It shows like the taking out of a whole generation that's been transmitting cultural and spiritual knowledge, and of children being put into boarding schools. It's a whole program of assimilation, of assimilating an entire ethnic group. So the new evidence really shows that the re-education or the so-called vocational training in Xinjiang is nothing to do with poverty alleviation, nothing to do with helping people to get jobs. It's about brutal brainwashing. It's about putting them in prison camps guarded by heavily armed police. We have evidence, in the watchtowers that they use military-grade machine guns and sniper rifles in the watchtowers. And it's very clear that this is a campaign to break a people, to brainwash a people. Re-education, literally called 教育转化, transformation through education. So based on this new evidence, I think there are several important steps that policymakers really need to take now. Firstly, they need to really make a strong declaration of the direct involvement of Beijing, the central government, and Xi Jinping. How closely the central government has been controlling this and looking at this and has had intimate knowledge of it. And that really needs to be combined with sanctions against high central government officials in Beijing, not just the ones in Xinjiang. And this should also have further consequences for international relations, for the divestment economically from this region. Of course, the United States has already taken an important step. But we need to look also at European countries, the European Union, at other countries, at Muslim nations, countries that care about the human rights situation among the Uyghurs, among the Kazakhs, among these groups, that they really need to act against forced labor, that they need to sanction some of these Chinese officials and make clear that this cannot be business as usual anymore. It's, after all, most likely the largest incarceration of an ethno-religious minority since the Holocaust. So we can no longer say business as usual. And the new evidence really underlines the nature of this atrocity.